Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Brass Ring Media. It is Saturday morning. It is myself, Ashley. We are here to talk about wrestling, guys. Of course, what else would we be here to chat about, right? Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Um, my dog has one of those annoying toys, so let me know first if you can hear me. That'd be fantastic. And if so, if you can hear her in the background, because I will move her if so. But man, guys, I am so happy to sit down and chat with everyone. It's been, obviously, it's been a week since I've streamed here with you guys, but I haven't been able to pop over on my channel, KickAsh Podcast, either. Like I've said, this is a crazy month for myself. So once this month is done, should get back to our regularly scheduled program, right? And possibly more content. So I'm super pumped about that. Have more space, have more opportunities to get shit done and to chat with you guys, talk about wrestling, pump more videos out. And yeah, man, just get on here more. Because life is short, man. You gotta do fun shit. You know what I mean? Good morning, guys. Let me pull up the chat. Testing. All right, what up, boss? Awesome, you can hear me. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. What up, Zach, Fernando, E, boss? Good morning, good morning. Why is that not playing? There we go. E, so do you know why we got Fonzie instead of Nocturnal Knockout on Wednesday? Ash, no, I do not. I know Robert had some scheduling stuff. I believe that's what Zach had said previously. So I'm not sure if it was anything in regards to that. So I'm not sure. Zach would be the best source for that answer. But yeah, I'm that's what I would believe. It's just like a scheduling issue with Robert, because he has some stuff going on, I think. But yeah, reach out to Zach E if you would like, because he is the go-to. But dude, yeah, great day when I had a total of 3 hours. Dude, yeah, like my sleeping pattern has been all out of whack. Tonight I have, tomorrow morning I'll be flying to Massachusetts, so my flight is at 7 a.m. leaving from Orlando. Fernando, if you've flown out of Orlando, bro, you know how unpredictable MCO is. Normally it's packed. Sometimes, like, there's rare occasions where it's not, where you just kind of get through TSA. When I was actually going to WrestleMania 40, I was flying out on a random Wednesday, random to us, right? In regards to like no spring break, no nothing, no holidays, nothing besides, wrestling holiday for us fans, but nothing crazy, for the regular folks. My flight was around 6:30, I think, so I got to the airport at 4, right around 4, because I'm thinking, I'm still early, but it's a Wednesday morning. Like, who's really going to be here? Y'all, when I tell you the queue, so if you haven't been in MCO, they have like obviously like a huge open area where the queue is for the TSA line, right? That's probably a good like 6 to 8, like maybe even more, like little diagonal things. And then you have obviously different hallways in different directions, right? Depending on where you're going in the airport. Well, our queue was entirely wrapped, and then there was a line headed all the way down the airport. Like, when I saw the queue and then I looked to my left, you just saw a sea of people. Some people had like their blankets on the floor, like they've been laying there for a hot minute. And I'm just like, oh my God, I am going to miss WrestleMania. I am going to miss my effing WrestleMania flight, bro. When I tell you I got to that gate right as we were boarding, that was some stressful shit. So my flight tomorrow is at 7 a.m. And it's a work trip. So like, I don't want to, I want them to be like, oh, this irresponsible chick, you know what I mean? So I'm just kind of stressing about what time I should get to the airport. I'm thinking like originally I was thinking like 3:30, but I was like maybe 3. So I don't know. But Fernando, I saw you in the chat. Maybe just you being in Orlando, bro, made me think about it. But I feel you there. I feel you there, bro. But yeah, guys, so we are not here to chat about myself. We are here to chat about wrestling. I want to spend some time talking about SmackDown, because I don't know what is going on with the state of SmackDown, guys. I'm not going to get into, like, obviously, like, you guys with me, like, I don't do like in-depth reviews, right, unless it's specifically in regards to that. We kind of like a broad overview, but as a whole, last week's and I know this is gonna be very unpopular. I enjoyed last week's SmackDown slightly better than this week's. But that's no good news. I say that because both were equally, I don't want to say trash, but not good, guys. Not good. Again, last week, the segment for me was that dumb Charlotte and Alexa Bliss shit. And I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. So I know, again, I'm in the minority with that. But this week, man, like the only thing that I really honestly enjoyed besides Drew McIntyre, just because I love Drew, right? And I like the direction that they're going with Cody. Part of me feels like it may like almost if is it too soon to go with Drew and Cody, because personally I don't see Drew beating Cody for the championship, and Drew should, man. Like Drew is one of those guys, man. It's like you can inject him in the main event scene whenever you need to. Shout out Callie. Because he's a believable guy, right? And even if you don't think, like for instance with Cody, like even if you don't think he's gonna necessarily beat Cody, there's that slimmer of hope, right? Like maybe they'll pull a fast one or some shit. But with Drew, man, is the story with him for years now has just been getting back to that spot, getting back to that title shot, and then losing, bro, for whatever reason, whether it was a straight loss or it was one of those like the bloodline days. So I don't know, man. Like I'm super pumped that he's in the main event scene. He should be, but I'm just kind of bummed in a sense too, because I know like 99.9% certain he's gonna lose, right? But I loved what they did last week with him. And I love that they kept Cody off of the show this week. Now, whether it's because he's filming as a Street Fighter or not, I dug it. I think when you do something to that effect, you should keep that person off of the show for at least a week. That was my one of my complaints with AEW, which if we have time, I'll get to later on. Just with not letting stuff breathe, man, and especially if you have time. We have a good amount of time, and for instance, like there was no reason to bring Cody back this week. So I'm very happy they did it. I'm happy they let Drew come out, say what he needed to say, let it air out, because that Claymore he delivered last week was just beautifully done. Oh, my hair is like oddly popping out, but it was just beautifully done. The way that the angle, the positioning, the perfect placement underneath the announce table that Cody was just able to just shatter through it. It was fantastic. So props to them. I liked the follow-up this week. The only other thing that I really enjoyed from SmackDown last night was, may sound weird, but the Carmelo Hayes and Miz interaction backstage and the match with the Motor City Machine Guns. Well, not the match with the machine guns, but the segment that they had backstage. I like that they are using Mello and Miz in a sense. They're trying to, and I'm hesitating because I know this is going to sound crazy. They're trying to allow Miz to help Mello get over in a good guy sense is my thoughts. Which is crazy because it's not like Miz is like this loved. Miz in the past year or two, in my opinion, probably 2 years, has kind of migrated into just a lot of just like a base foundation of respect from fans for the tenure, what he's gone through, just stuff like that. You know, like he has like a level of respect with everyone now, besides his talents, right? Because a lot of people shit on the Miz. I have given him his props, his flowers, and I always will. I think he is very underutilized in a lot of sense. More so lately. I mean, he was, at one point on the show every week, but lately he hasn't been. I think, I don't know if that's just him doing more outside projects and kind of being in more of like an ambassador role. Obviously, he's on SmackDown more and more frequently now, but there's a patch earlier in the year where he wasn't on TV much. I was like, and there was rumors that maybe his contract was not going to be renewed or whatever. So I was like, yo, like that, if you're WWE, you keep a guy like Miz, man. Like you open the bank for Miz. I'm not saying he's like a Roman Reigns level, obviously, but when you talk about a company guy, someone like a mini John Cena, in no disrespect, and in my opinion, that's a compliment. That's the way I mean it, in the sense that, and when I say mini, because yes, like if you were to ask your random person, have you heard of John Cena? They'll most likely say yes. Have you heard of The Miz? Maybe, maybe not, depending on what reality TV they watch. Obviously, if they've seen wrestling before, that definitely plays a big factor, right? But he has had more and more exposure on reality TV, right? But he hasn't been in the movies like John Cena and the TV shows. So that's what I'm saying, a little mini John Cena. But John Cena, in the sense that that dude looks the part, he talks the part, he is like a chameleon, man. Like he can fit into any role that they need him in. I just think that they really should utilize him more, do everything they can to keep him. Like I may have missed it. I don't know like if he has recently renewed or anything like that, or if he's in long term. I hope he is. And like obviously, like I think he, without saying it, he definitely deserves it, right? But I'm just concerned that he may end up being one of those where they kind of don't appreciate as much until he's gone type thing. But in a sense too, I didn't expect to go off on a little Miz tangent here, but now that I'm thinking about it, Miz, can you guys imagine Miz on the Indies? Like, obviously we've never seen it, right? So part of me would be mildly intrigued to see what that even looks like. Like, even if it's just for a year. Again, I advocating that he stays, obviously, and this is just like this came from nowhere, right? So no rumors and nothing like that. This is just me spitballing. But like, can you imagine like if for whatever reason they couldn't agree to renew the contract, whatever, and he goes on the Indies and if he even would, like I said, like dude is set, like he may just be like I'm good, like and go off into Hollywood and do that. But if he still had that wrestling itch, like can you imagine if he was like hitting the indie scenes and like or showed up in TNA? I couldn't even imagine seeing him in AEW. But I just think that'd just be wild. That would be wild. But yeah, dude, I don't know. But I think Miz is definitely underappreciated, underutilized. So yeah, I don't know, like I said, why I got on the soapbox for the Miz. Yeah, Fernando. Yeah. Mini Cena, yeah. Brothers, what? Bro, what the hell? He's like, I'd rather expect a cockroach than Miz? Why, dude? Why? That's harsh, bro. Why? What did the Miz do? That's strong, dude. I mean, I respect your opinion, bro. But, like, why? Why? Yo, I gotta fix this. I got my hair cut yesterday, so my hair is a little shorter, and my hair does not know what to do. It cannot stand the bun out. Hey, guys. I may need to break up a fight here. Actually, yeah, I'm going to be proactive. I'm going to get this toy really quick, guys. Alright, I just wanted to move that toy before they started fighting over it. Yeah, E, you right, bro. You right. You're smart. I'm going to do that. Going back, I'm scrolling through your comments now about the airport. What up, Sean? Good morning, friend. You're driving. Oh, well, happy to be the soundtrack to your travels, man. That should be like that's actually a really good title. The soundtrack of your travels. It's kind of a tongue twister. Say that shit 5 times fast. What up, dude? Though. Oh yeah, you actually are traveling. I forget where you said you were going though. I heard it on whatever show. You're on so many shows now, dude. Which one was it? And I think you're promoting, what is it, Johnny Fairplay's YouTube show? What is it? Wrestling reality? I don't know, guys. If you guys know Johnny Fairplay's YouTube channel, shout out because we all support each other here on this side of Brashwing Media. So shout out to Johnny Fairplay. I just don't know the name of his damn channel, and I don't know why that's just how my brain works. But Sean, not while you're driving, sir. Texting, while driving is illegal and frowned upon. But no, dude, what's the name of his show? Because I know you said that you were going on it. Maybe it was last week or you're going on it this week. Fill me in, dude, because Vaguely, I remember hearing that shit. But I've been wanting to check out Johnny Fairplay because Johnny Fairplay cracks me the fuck up. So shout out to Johnny Fairplay. Let's see. What up, Ben? What up? What up? Ben, you said MJF versus Miz promo battle would be fire. I think it would, dude. And thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben, for entertaining my thoughts here on the Miz. Can you imagine a free no handcuffs Miz in the ring in a promo battle with MJF in AEW in that setting? Because again, not to compare, but AEW obviously allows more freedom on the mic, right? I just think that would be so much fun, dude. I think the Miz, again, I'm not saying he's one of the best ever on the mics, but he's good, dude. Like I think if he didn't have any limitations, bro, like I think it would be fun. I think it would be fun. The more I sit here and think about it, the more I'm actually like, bro, like maybe yeah, let him on this indies for like a year and then come back. Not advocating for anyone to lose their job. Obviously, I want him to stay, but just playing with some ideas. Oh yeah, to see your mom in a wrestling after show. Okay, that's right, wrestling after show. You were on Tuesday, right on. Well, everyone check that out, wrestling after show. I definitely will be checking that out. I need to write that down. Cool, right on, man. Be safe. Byron, what up, man? You said I dislike Logan Paul because of Jake Paul pulled. Not exactly sure what you mean there, bro. Oh, I missed your first comment. You said the only person I have a huge problem with is Logan Paul because Logan Paul is boring. Turn off my TV every time I see him, and then that's what you said because you dislike him because of Jake Paul. Yeah, man, I get what you're saying. A lot of people feel the same way. Again, I'm in the minority with a lot of shit. I don't dislike Logan Paul on the wrestling guy. You know what I mean? Yes, he's done some fucked up shit in his real life. Not here to get into that. I think he's really good in the ring, though. I think I know, to call it out, bro. I think he pisses off a lot of people, a lot of wrestling fans because he is so good at wrestling. Point blank, like it's okay to dislike him as a human being. That's totally fine. I'm not sitting here trying to say like, oh no, you have to like him or anything like that. That's why we're here, man, because we all like to share our opinions and our thoughts. But I think like a lot of his disdain builds in people because of how good he is at wrestling. And again, I'm not saying he's like the best wrestler out there, this tech savvy dude or anything like that. I'm saying in the sense of the experience that he had coming in, which was what I don't know if he ever wrestled like outside of like I don't know like if he went to college because again I'm not sitting here acting like I'm his biggest fan obviously or anything like that, but didn't even know hardly anything about him. I knew of his name, and for the longest time before he got into WWE, I thought him and Jake Paul were the same person. Then I realized they were brothers at first, and then I was like, oh shit, are they twins? And then I realized they were just brothers. So that was my exposure. So that should tell you a lot. Had no idea what he had done in the past. I still don't know everything. I do need to look into it. Obviously, I've read the and not excusable. I don't know exactly what he stated from that, so that's on you guys to do your own research there. But and again, I'm not saying that I like him as a human being or anything like that, or I'm advocating for him. I'm just saying in the wrestling sense, the dude is really good at what he does. And his athleticism and the way that he picked up the wrestling business is a lot quicker than a lot of our favorite wrestlers. A lot of the guys that we're watching on TV took years to get to the level that he's at. In ring, like skill wise. I'm not saying name brand or anything like that because obviously he had an upper hand coming in already being a star, so of course he had an easier route than the majority of the rest of our guys there. The guys who had to grind it out for 15-20 years on the indies, had to bust their ass, are still busting their ass, right, week in and week out. So yeah, like I'm not a Logan Paul hater, but I'm not like I don't know, man. Like he doesn't bother me as much as some other people. So yeah, that's again kind of like long story short on that. And I respect what he does in the business, and I respect this how seriously he takes it. Right? If you remember when he was the U.S. champion, he took that title everywhere with him. He took it seriously. I don't know, man. Like that means a lot to me. So it'd be different if, like a Travis Scott, if he came in and was just literally using his celebrity to be like, fuck all you guys, I'm going to be in every main event whenever I come in, like, I'm never going to lose, like, all of this shit. 100% different opinion I would have. But from what I've read and from what I've seen, like, wrestling wise, like, he's put in the time and put in the respect and put in the work. So I can't sit here and be like, oh no, fuck you, like, you're trash, like, because I can't, like, it's a slippery slope that we can go down because there's so many different examples, right, of like the real life compared to the wrestling character, which I'm not going to get into right now. But like I was saying earlier, I respect everyone's opinion 100%. And like I said, that's why I like doing this shit, honestly, because I like to hear everyone's thoughts. It makes me think more. It makes me check myself and be like, yo, like, are you like being biased or naive or just like you have blinders on? Do you need to really do more research? So like that's why I appreciate you guys. What up, Grandmaster? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Speaking of Logan Paul, yeah, he just got married. I think it was in Italy, right? And he's a good father too. Like, again, I'm not saying it excuses anything because, like, or just because he's a good dad or a good wrestler excuses what he's done in the past or anything like that. And again, I don't know fully everything about him. But yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at. Sean, I'm actually surprised you agree with me on Logan Paul, Sean. That's dope though. And yeah, and Ben, you said you gain respect for him, right on. And Sean, you said I think his promos are very good. He gets heat. He does, dude, and that's what adds to it as well. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to sit here and be definitely not trying to be a Logan Paul defender and nothing like that. Um, but yeah, I just gotta be honest with you guys and just kind of let you guys know where I'm coming from, because like I said, I like to know that's what we're doing here. We're talking about our opinions and shit. um, but yeah, getting back to SmackDown itself as well. I don't pull up some tabs here. I don't know what's going on as a whole because, like, I was started with the Miz and went down a whole another pathway. But other than the tag match and the segment with Drew, like I said, I thought SmackDown was just again, I'm trying not to say trash, but it was just not good. It was boring. I found myself on my phone. I found myself getting up a lot. And I watched it on Netflix because shout out VPNs. And dude, like that's those like the boom boom doom doom that music in between. Oh my god, you can only hear it but for so long and so many times. Like it I have like my own issues, right? But it reminded me like I gotta mute this shit. Oh my gosh. So that's what made me, or if I didn't mute it, I had to get up and leave the room, or I used that as an excuse to go do something else. But my goodness. And again, that's not their fault. That's just is what it is. That shit was just driving me nuts. But yeah, SmackDown, I don't they need to do something, y'all. Like the fact that for the women's division, we're going right back to it seems to be Jade interacting with Tiffany, and then now we have the um inclusion of Nia Jax, who's been on NXT the past couple weeks, which I'm not necessarily against including Nia, but I I would be we've already seen any type of combination. Obviously Tiffany and Nia, that was the beginning. It wasn't Nia the one that Jade beat in the Queen of the Ring? I'm blanking there, but I feel like we've already seen Nia Jackson and Jade. It's just nothing new. Like it's not fresh. And I just again, like I'm not I again, speaking of the minorities, I am in the minority with this one. I have been a Nia Jax fan for a long time. I know that's not the popular opinion. I am not going to go through pros and cons. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But I'm just like not excited about it. I'm not like, oh my god, why? But I'm just like, okay, like, all right. I just want something new. Like I feel like we're almost in like a holding pattern, and I don't know why or until when. So that's why I was advocating too. Like going into SummerSlam, I was like, yo, put the title on Jade. It's like, should have get off the pot. Maybe it was the best decision not to. And again, I'm not even saying that I was right with that, but it was just something new and just something different, something to shake shit up. Even if you only had it on Jade for a month and a half, maybe going into like maybe Clash in Paris, if you wanted to put it right back on Tiffany, okay, fine. But like, just do something. I don't know. Like, I just, it's just something on SmackDown, dude, where it just lacks, like, it lacks energy, in my opinion. And, bro, like, I feel for those people in Boston last night. Like, to be fair, though, like, if you're a WWE fan, you're in the Boston area, and you're going to that show last night, unless you have money like that, like, I would have, you should have known, especially since it wasn't advertised, that Cena ain't gonna be at the show. Like, you need to wait a couple more months until December, because that's where his final appearance is gonna be. So I wouldn't have expected a stacked show on last night's card anyway. But when you think about it, dude, like they didn't get Cena, they didn't get Cody. Who else? Oh, I'm forgetting another big name. But you felt it, man. Like you felt it. And again, I'm not saying that they should have been on the show. I actually agree with it not being on the show. But my point with that is if you're not gonna have like your big guns on the show, like you really need to emphasize and put a lot of whether it's good or bad, like a lot of substance on another act. And y'all, like, I am so tired of these fucking MFTs, dude. And I was trying to be better about my language, but it warrants it there because I am just so tired of seeing Solo and the same shit every week. I will devil's advocate. I think this version of Solo is much more entertaining on the mic, and you could tell he's much more comfortable and he's really like coming into his own. But I'm just tired in general of seeing the bloodline shit, the MFT shit. Like I would like them to be off of TV for a few months. And again, just a refresher, like, or maybe not even like all of them off TV, but like at least like the group aspect, like have them like break off into the tag division and focus on that. Because Lord knows the tag division needs help as well, needs an injection there. They have a fantastic division, but it's just lacking. It's just lacking direction. So it's just frustrating, Me personally, like I was just watching SmackDown last night. I'm just like, it's just frustrating. It wasn't a terrible show. We've definitely been through worse shows. So that's why I was like, man, like I hate being negative on it because it sounds so bad, it sounds so negative, and maybe it sounds worse than what it was. It just wasn't exciting, bro. And I was excited because I don't get that many Friday nights off. So I was like, bro, like I'm pumped, like I had a pizza, like yo, like let's go. I'm about to watch some wrestling live. And it was just not a good time. So it is what it is. But that's my thoughts on SmackDown. Long story short, right? 30 minutes short. I did not watch TNA Emergence, and that's why halfway through it, when I was sitting there thinking, like, man, like, why, like, when I'm sitting there thinking, like, what is going on with this show? And when I picked up my phone, I pulled up Twitter, and I was like, bro, like, I completely forgot that TNA Emergence was on. So I'm actually going to be turning that on because, like I was saying earlier, I'll be traveling tonight. So I need to get shit done. I need to do laundry. I need to do a lot of shit around the place. So, on and watch it. So, yeah. You said you ate a whole large pizza by yourself yesterday? Fuck yeah, dude. That's my guy. I'm telling you, bro, like certain things have benefits, right? I'm on Broadway Media, so I don't want to say certain words, but certain munchies, right? That's dope, dude. But the question is, what kind of pizza and from where? And this is going to tell me a lot about you guys, and I really need you guys to take this question seriously. And if you're in the area and you have an opportunity to, whether you're watching on Twitter, If you are, I appreciate it. There's a lot of you guys over there, like 500 of you guys over there. I appreciate it. Whether on YouTube, appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe. That'd be fantastic. On your pizza, pineapple or no pineapple? Let me know. I don't know if I still can. Oh, I can. I might even pull up a poll because it's that serious. Pineapple or no pineapple, guys, on your pizza? Oh, damn, I can't because I'm not signed in on YouTube with Brasserie Media. Damn, that sucks. But, guys, I must know. I must know your thoughts because I'm going to hold out on my answer. If you've listened to me before, you already know. But the judging will be real on this one. But, yeah, guys, what up, what up? What up, Tyler? Good morning, good morning. Maria, good morning, good morning. All right, so we got some responses. Yes. All right, Sean. Okay, you said yes to pineapple. Absolutely. Maria, you said no pineapple. Tyler is cheese pizza. Ben, yes, pineapple. All right, all right. And E, okay. So E had a meat lovers. Okay, meat lovers Pizza Hut. It's like a 5-minute walk from my place. I normally don't care. I just try to. Yeah, I feel you, dude. I feel you. Me personally, I can't do like all the different types, like the sausage, beef, the pepperoni, the ham. Like it doesn't set well with me. I have a sensitive tummy. So I can't do like the meat lovers, bro. But like I like to pick them off, you know. But okay, guys. Okay. Anytime. So normally it's like pineapple and pepperoni, right? But just pineapple period. Because some people are like just flat out no pineapple. Some people are like pineapple on pepperoni, or if it's like a Hawaiian, you know, like where it has like ham and pineapple. Some people are just like flat out no pineapple, no fruit on your pizza, period. And it's a very strong take. It has divided a lot of communities on Twitter that I've seen. So that's why I needed your guys' opinion. I wish I could do a poll, but like I said, I can't log in on the actual YouTube page itself. I'm just on StreamYard. Grandmaster, pineapple on the side. Okay, no pineapple on pizza. All right, I hear you. Ben, you said jalapeno and pineapple. Okay, okay. Cheese, sausage, and pepperoni, Fernando. Okay. The boss. What? What is this nonsense? You said somebody on Twitter or someone on Twitter suggested strawberry or strawberry drizzle. See, now we're just getting carried away. That's why we have diabetes in this country. Like, now we're just getting carried away. The drizzle? Like, what kind of drizzle? Like, what? And obviously, I know you said strawberry drizzle, but like, ugh, come on, guys. Come on. But pineapple belongs on cake? Pineapple on cake? What? I've never heard on pineapple upside down cake, but like, I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to. It would depend on what else is on that cake for the pineapple for me. But I love pineapple on pizza. I think it's fantastic. I used to actually work at Pizza Hut. That was my first job at, way back in the day, like little young Ashley back in high school. That was my first job. Well, technically my second job, but my first like long-term job. I stayed there for 3 years. And we would get like our meal, we would get like a little personal pan pizza and a drink for $1, and we would just like be creative. So my go-to was pepperoni and pineapple, but I also at one point did pepperoni. This is gonna sound disgusting. It was half and half. So like on 2 slices, I'd have pepperoni, chicken and jalapeno, and on the other side, pepperoni and pineapple. Yeah, I know it sounds gross, but it was fantastic. Those are the days, dude. But moving on to AEW, because I do want to give them some attention and some love, I guess. Pulling up their info here really quick. But I do want to check out Emergence, so let me know if you guys checked out Emergence, what you guys thought on that as well. Gonna go over obviously the updated lineup for Forbidden Door, but like I said, I wanted to give AEW their props because Forbidden Door, y'all, that shit's like damn near sold out. Like it's over 16,000 seats or tickets sold, right? I think it seats like 17,000, so they're right there hitting it. So, and again, like AEW gets a lot of shit for the weekly television, the lack of attendance, shit like that, ratings, whatever. But their pay-per-views, man, like people pack in for their pay-per-views. The future's gonna be interesting with the whole pay-per-view landscape, what AEW ends up doing. I still think it's like wild they haven't moved over to streaming their pay-per-views on HBO. I don't know, like I don't know what the issue is between HBO and them like getting that converted. And nothing like negative between them, right? I remember when they first announced that they were moving over to HBO, it was just like a not a logistics thing, but just like pretty much like figuring it out type of situation. So I don't know, like, bro, like you are like you have billions of dollars being HBO, right? Like how why is it taking so long to figure that out and to migrate that over? I don't know. I know I'm probably missing something there, but I would love to see AEW get their own like actual like little hub on HBO Max as well, right? Whatever their HBO Max, whatever it's gonna be called. Um or HBO Max, I think it's gonna go back to whatever the name is. Like WWE has on Peacock. For now, I there's so much to complain about with WWE and Peacock, right? But I do love the fact that you can just scroll down and go right there to WWE, and it's like the world of WWE right there. Now, granted, when you're trying to search for specific shit in there, it's a nightmare, but at least there's one hub for it. That's my hope, obviously. Well, like one of my hopes for AEW on there as well. But man, I'm not concerned for AEW in the pay-per-view sense, but I just hope that they get it figured out. And again, I'm sure it's nothing on their side. I'm sure it's purely on like HBO Max or whatever. But like figure the shit out, y'all. Like, come on. It's if UFC is stopping with pay-per-views, then like you need to get off the pot now. For sure. Get off the pot. I'm just reading some of y'all's comments. Y'all are funny. Bro, Grandmaster, I did it all. I was in the kitchen, I was a server, I worked the cash register, I was a delivery driver. I did it all. I learned a lot. I learned a lot working that job. I always say, dude, regardless of your position in this life, in the sense of like the position of like the privileges you were born into or lack thereof, whether you're born into a $1 million family, $1 billion family who like has no thoughts on money at all, or you were born into a family that like is paycheck to paycheck. I think everyone should work in the food industry or the serving industry, like whatever, the food industry. I'm just going to leave it at that because it not only humbles you, it teaches you a different level of respect, a different level of hard work, and just a different level of hustle, like all in all, because especially when you're a server, dude, like that shit was wild. Like there would be nights where I would leave with like $30, $40 because people just don't tip. And I mean, it's Pizza Hut, right? Like it is what it is. And I wasn't a server for long because they like, I don't say promoted me, but like had me do other shit. But like you would have tables of like 15, 20 people come in there and they don't leave a tip at all. They fight with you over the bill. They may leave you $1, or it is just like, really? And then you have like the people who come in there and it's just like that one person or like a couple and they leave you like 15, $20. It's just like, wow, but long story short, it really opens up your eyes to a lot. It just really teaches you hard work, bro. So again, my little soapbox moment for that. But oh, Ruth, no way, dude. Ruth quit. I've heard of that. Ruth. Oh, dude, that's a nice steakhouse. I've never been, but I've heard of it. That's a nice place. open up your own pizza spot, dude. So I actually, man, like I don't know if it's like a goal, but I would love to, like, I've thought about like opening like a little food truck type thing, and it would be like a hybrid. It would have like a little bit of everything, which I know isn't good for inventory, right? But just it'd be like one of those, like, you know how when you like you have the munchies and you just can't figure out what you want to eat and you want like five different things, you'll have like those five different options. And then like I want like a little coffee thing too. So yeah, man, that'd be dope. I'm not the best cook though, so like I would definitely need like a little chef or someone to do the heavy labor on that. But and that'd be dope. Like the people, like the food truck people, man, and like I like love those little vendors and like food markets. Oh, I love going to those things, dude. It's so much fun. It's so much fun, and you find some of the best quality food and products out there. So go to your local food markets and farmers markets and support your local vendors, man, and your small businesses, because they need it more than these corporations. Which I'm not going to get on that soapbox because I could literally be here all day. And we're trying to talk wrestling, right? So sorry, guys. But I'm going through the lineup here for Forbidden Door. But yeah, like you guys are saying in the comments regarding Dynamite, it was kind of like SmackDown for me, man. Like, the opening segment to me was very good. Kind of like Drew McIntyre, though I was a little surprised that they were truly going forward with MJF and Hangman Page so soon. But I love the setup. I liked the whole, like, mind fuck, for lack of cleaner words, that Hangman pulled on MJF. Because MJF, man, if you guys have been watching AEW, MJF is that dude where he puts people through the ringer to get to him, just to have a regular match. You guys remember with Cody, with Wardlow, I believe it was, right? Like the 3 stages, like you have to go through 3 different types of whatever to get to him. I love that Hangman pretty much was like, no, like you're not gonna go meet into giving you a match or anything like that. Like you need to earn it, da da da. And then at the end of the segment, he got MJF so worked up that obviously MJF snapped. And he ended up challenging Hangman and like essentially cashing in his contract for the title shot at Forbidden Door. And I just think it finally it made a babyface, a good guy, look smart and be the brains of the segment and not be the one to be taken advantage of, to look stupid in front of the heel, right? Or anything like that. Like, no, like Hangman owned that segment. He had MJF right where he wanted him. He set him up perfectly. MJF is pissed. Now Hangman has eliminated the spontaneity threat of when, like, could he be in a regular match and MJF cash in, or, for lack of better terms, cash in, and just do some fuck shit. No, like he knows exactly when the match is going to be, and we're set. So I dug that. I dug that aspect of it. Again, I was, I don't want to say surprised, but I guess surprised that we were going to MJF so soon. But I was like, okay, because again, like I think MJF could be one to dethrone Hangman, but in the future, not right now. It's definitely not going to be this soon, right? So I don't know, maybe not. Like maybe because long term, like we have Will Ospreay in the back of our minds, right, for next year. So it just depends on the story that they want to lay out and play, and who you want Ospreay to end up beating once we get to that point. If that still ends up being the end goal. So we'll see. Obviously, we're way, way off from that. But my point is, I don't see MJF beating Hangman, and I honestly would be shocked if MJF put out the victory here and became our new champion at Forbidden Door. So we'll see on that. I think it's gonna be a wonderful match, though. I think it's gonna be like one of those like just hard hitting stiff matches, because in a sense, like I feel like they're both gonna want to go out there and try to prove a point. Not that they need to, but just you're the main event, like you're 2 homegrown guys, like you have that history, like you want to go out there and just fucking kill it. So I feel like it's gonna be that type of setting, like it's gonna be a big match feel. So I dig it, and especially like I was saying earlier with the attendance in the O2 Arena, it's gonna be packed. It's gonna be an awesome environment. So the show itself, I think is gonna be really well done, and I think it's coming on at like 2, I think. So the setting is gonna be great. Like it's going to be lively. Like, you're getting, like, the fans are going to have tons of energy. So I'm pumped for it. I am pumped for it. But the card that we have so far, let me pull it up here. And again, guys, it is the 24th, which is next weekend. That actually might work out perfectly for my schedule. But again, it's the 24th, and I'm almost certain I saw that it was at 2 p.m. I'll see if I can find that. But the matches that we have so far, let me scroll down a bit. And dude, like, that's why I'm almost certain it's at 2 p.m. because, and we still have a whole nother week of TV. I feel like we're gonna end up with, like, I haven't counted them yet, but like 13, 14 matches on this bitch, and it's terrifying. Because I hope you guys don't have any plans for Sunday, because good lord. But going through the card, we have Mercedes Moné versus Alex Winza versus a CMLL wrestler versus a Stardom wrestler in a 4-way for the TBS Championship. Okay, like, does he just not know the names, or are they listed like that? Hold on. I typed in all. Why did he have them listed like that? 1 second. Unless they just haven't been announced yet, which is truly possible. Yeah. Okay, so Stardom's is to be determined. So, okay, he probably just didn't. It wasn't announced yet. It was just funny the way it was listed. Alright, cool. Yeah, so this is a more updated card. Alright, so we have Mercedes Moné, of course, multiple champions, whatever. She's just the champion. Versus Alex Windsor versus Persephone for CMLL, and Star from Stardom, which is to be determined. That, of course, is for the AEW TBS Championship. 1 of 8, I think, that Mercedes has right now. I think she's going for the tenfold, so why not? We have Zack Sabre Jr. defending, or no, he's not. Is he? Yeah, he's defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Nigel McGuinness. I chuckled because, like, I scrolled up a second, and there's just so many fucking championships listed. It's insane. Like, what are we doing? I saw MJF, obviously, when I was watching this segment with him and Hangman, and I'm just like, I legit chuckled because he has a championship, which obviously I know he's the CMLL heavyweight champion or whatever. I'm just like, my God, like, everyone has a fucking championship. Like, it's maddening. I don't know if it bothers you guys as much as it bothers me, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm not gonna go down that tangent. I'm gonna save that. Oh my gosh. But of course, so this one is for the IW, and again, this makes sense because it's Forbidden Door, so I get it. I 100% get it. But just in general, it's just, like, laughable. But this is gonna be a fun match. Nigel McGuinness. It's just cool that he's able to wrestle. You know what I mean? He's back in the game. I wasn't the biggest Nigel fan, but, you know, if you know his story, he really, it's like an emotional, like, and it's like one of those heartfelt things. So good for him, dude. I'm happy for him. Yeah, this match is just gonna be a good matchup. And I mean, fucking Zack Sabre, like, come on, bro. Yes, please. We have Kyle Fletcher facing off against Hiromu Takahashi for the AEW TNT Championship. Timeless Tony Storm defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Athena. This is obviously Athena's Casino Gauntlet Championship cash-in moment, essentially. We have Kazuchika Okada defending the AEW Unified Championship against Swerve Strickland. This is just Forbidden Door Night of Champions. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin defending the AEW World Tag Team Championships against the whoever wins the Eliminator Tournament. When is that? I think that's coming up this week. And then, guys, this is just a clusterfuck, this match. We have the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, which we haven't, correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't heard from Kenny Omega since All In, if I'm not mistaken, since he lost to Okada. and now he's just randomly in this match teaming up with like Kota Ibushi, so and etc. But I'm just like, did I miss? And that's what I find myself. That's one of my like core as a obviously like a real wrestling fan. Like I always get this like at least once in the show where I'm like, did I miss something? Like how did we get here? And it's so frustrating because I care and I enjoy the journey, man. I am that fan who enjoys the story more than the match 9 times out of 10. Because the match normally is going to be like the match means so much more when the story builds it up. Because especially nowadays, we're blessed where we could go out and watch a good wrestling match pretty much anywhere. But the story is what amplifies it, dude. So if we're just sitting here, just like twiddling our thumbs and just like, wait, how did I get here? And then we get to the match, it's like, oh, well, this is a great match. Like, it's the same shit every pay per view. It's like, oh, well, the pay per view is going to be fantastic. But like, how? Like, we missed a couple chapters. Like, I don't know, dude. And again, like I'm not trying to shit on them. That's just excuse me, my thoughts. And I feel like I say that at least once every time we're going into a pay-per-view, which is just kind of frustrating, personally. But continuing with the tenfold here, the Golden Lovers are teaming up with Darby Allin, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay, who fucked up his neck and had been wrestling with a fucked up neck for the past year, I believe he said. What was it, like 2 like C vertebrae or some shit? And his first match back from his time off in like recovery period is not only a steel cage multi-man match, but a fucking lights out steel cage match. Like, are you like what? And again, I'm no doctor. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know more about, first of all, the human body in general, let alone someone else's body, someone else's body who has been reviewed and checked out by, just sounded weird saying checked out, by medical professionals, I would hope, right? So who am I to say whether he should be in this type of match or not? But as a wrestling fan and someone who cares about him as a human being and someone who I have grown to really love as a wrestling character as well, I'm just concerned for him, dude. You know, like going into, if you guys have listened to me before, it's no secret. Like I was one of those fans who obviously knew of New Japan, had seen some clips, but had never really sat down and watched like a full like show or anything like that. Had to play catch up on Kenny Omega, on Will Ospreay, on Zack Sabre Jr., like all these guys. When Ospreay came in, and to give full credit where credit is due, right? Because if I shit on you guys, I want to be able to give praise as well, being AEW. I shouldn't say shit because I mean it with love, right? Like I'm not one of those out here just like trying to like drum up negativity. It's just my honest like feelings. I love what they have done with Ospreay since they brought him in. I think the story that they've told with him has been very well done. Yes, like maybe a couple things I may have tweaked, but very similar to Hangman, I love the journey that we have been on with Ospreay. I think it's, in my opinion, a step below the story for Hangman, but just because the longevity that we had with the Hangman story, right? From the very beginning of AEW, obviously the beginning and like the building of AEW becoming a thing, right? Let alone to his journey becoming champion and redemption and all of that. We've had years with Hangman. With Ospreay, we started what, a year and a half ago, or was it? I guess how long has he been in AEW now? A year and a half. I don't know if it's been 2 years quite, but whatever. Like officially signed with him and like on the main roster, but like on the card. I love the journey, man, and he quite possibly, besides like your WWE crossovers who have had like already like that experience and that exposure, he adapted to American TV and like the style so fucking well, dude. Like it was nothing. Like he's done this shit for years. So I don't know, man. I have just become a big Osprey fan, so that's why when I saw they were including this dude in this match, I'm just like, you got to be kidding me, man! Like, what are we doing? And then I'm like, like, actually, if he's fine, like, like it's not. I don't want to say it's not my business. It's not my business, but like, it's our business because he told us, right? So my concerns are what they are, man. But just because like he's, especially being in London, dude, like he's gonna want to go out there and do some crazy shit. This motherfucker did a Spanish fly with Kyle Fletcher. When was that? I forget when and where it was. Off of the steel cage. You think he's not gonna want to do something crazy in London? In the O2 Arena? Come on, y'all. Especially with all those bodies. Like, you can only imagine the shit that he'll be able to do off of the top of the cage into just a sea of humanity. So that's why I'm like, as the old people would say, clutching my pearls. You know what I mean? Like, just concerning, man. And then they are facing off against the Death Riders because death to me that we just can't get rid of these riders. Claudio Castagnoli and John Moxley, the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, and Gabe Kidd, who I thought had a knee injury. Apparently he doesn't either. So again, I am no medical professional, but here we are. This match is just gonna be a clusterfuck. I don't know how we are going to fit all 10 bodies into this ring. I saw somewhere where like New Japan does their cage matches where it's like kind of like a half cage from the ground type thing. I've never seen anything like it. I don't know much about it. So that could be the case. I don't know. But visually, because it's one thing, when we see like a 10-man tag and like they're standing on the ringside apron, like all these guys in the ring, I don't know what it's gonna look like. So I guess that's the whole point, right? Us tune in and see. But the other thing I wanted to talk about, guys, in regards to AEW is Cope and Christian Cage teaming up and going against Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. We got the hug on Wednesday. I am so perplexed as to why we got the hug so soon. Again, like I was saying earlier, with feeling like I missed something or feeling like we just jumped some chapters, like, dude, like, backing it up. So, obviously, we all know what Christian did to Adam Copeland. Go fuck yourself. Copeland comes back, tells Christian to go find himself. I loved that. It's a nice play on words, right? Very, very fitting. I immediately thought, okay, Christian is going to go on this journey. And for whatever reason, and again, this is us fans, to be fair, we sometimes book things ourselves, right? And kind of create this fantasy land. And if we don't get it, we blame the company when it's like they never presented that themselves. That's just us. But my thoughts, dude, I was like, okay, Christian's going to go on this journey. And I immediately flashed back to Edge when he was first debuting into WWF. What year was that? Like 97, 98? On the streets, right? When he was that lost soul on the streets, just like quiet, like just like you would see, like it was like kind of ahead of its time. Like he'd be standing there and then there'd just be like a flash, him running down the street. He would run up into the camera and scream, like just the madness. I was expecting that with Christian. Like it would be so, and Tony Khan being a wrestling nerd, right? Like I saw, I was like, bro, like that would be perfect for Christian to be tormented, to be going through almost like a flashback through his career and like their journey. Obviously, you can't use anything WWE like film wise or footage wise or anything like that. But these dudes have merchandise and their gear and replicas and like titles, like and again, you don't have to show anything like I'm not saying like show WWE titles or anything like that, but like a flash of like a shirt or a flash of like pictures of them together or just stuff like that. Like I don't know, like my brain just went into like 1,000 different directions in that type of like I guess scenario for weekly threads. And you film like, and you could probably film all that shit within like a day or two, truly, and just break it up, and you have like probably you could get like a full month or two, like however long you needed to, leading into Toronto of that footage. And then you finally build to a situation where Copeland is like what happened, where Copeland is in dire strain and he needs a buddy, he needs someone to come save him. Christian comes out, the same thing that they did, right? Like pretty much the exact same situation. Christian comes out, he brings Spike out, saves him, he goes to leave, Adam pulls him around, they hug. It's a beautiful moment. It sets up a moment leading into Toronto. And we didn't, dude. We just didn't. We, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, we got nothing from Christian. We saw him, I think, one other time, and Adam Copeland for that matter. We saw them maybe one other time. And then what was it, last week when Copeland needed saving? Maybe no, like a few weeks ago when Copeland needed saving. And I just feel like they were so like that's what's so frustrating to me. Like, and again, like I know I built it up probably too much in my head, but like journey with this and the whole go find yourself, like you had so much potential with it. Like he literally could have been out there trying to find himself, and I don't know, man. I just think we could have had fun with it. So it's a bummer for me. I felt like they rushed things with the hug. I think that we should have at least gotten one-on-one match between Nick Wayne and Christian Cage. And truly, that could have been what set up the reunion. Christian could have been going through those weeks of turmoil and trying to find himself. We see him looking all raggedy, maybe like a bum Baron Corbin, you know what I mean? All disheveled, but he's like, no, I'm, like I know what I did is wrong. Maybe not apologizing, but just like kind of owning up to it and be like, I know what I need to do. Like, whatever he wants to say against Nick Wayne, right? You set up a one-on-one match between Christian and Nick Wayne. That could have been at this Forbidden Door card. Nick Wayne and Christian are having a good match. It gets to a point where maybe, if you want to do the cliche, ref is down, or you want to have the match be over. My opinion, Nick Wayne should win that scenario, regardless if it's probably not clean, but do some shiesty shit to get the cheap victory so people hate him even more. They're beating down Christian. They're going to give him a concerto like they, previous setting. And then Adam Copeland comes out. Copeland comes out to save Christian again, right? Just like before. Same situation. Christian stands up, realizes, like once Copeland clears the ring, Christian realizes who it was. He's just like almost in tears, like he's so distraught because he's so conflicted, like with what he did to Copeland in the past and how he's, like almost like the regret is eating at him so much. But he goes to leave because he knows what he has done in the past is effed up, and he knows like he can't force forgiveness, right? Goes to leave. Copeland spins him around, gives him the hug. Kumbaya, we're good to go. Leading into Toronto, where you get your tag match. So that's the long story of how, in my brain, I thought we were going to be resolving this whole Adam Copeland, Christian Cage, Nick Wayne patriarchy thing. Because at this point, like, why do you need a one-on-one match with Christian and Nick Wayne? And like, I feel like we really missed out on that too. Like, how long were they together? And the patriarchy, like they did all this shit and they ended up turning on Christian and all this stuff, and because Christian deserved it, right? But we just never got the one-on-one. Like I don't know. I just feel like it was rushed. I feel like it was rushed. Let me know what your thoughts. But that is the lineup for Forbidden Door. And my rants for the day. I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea. I'm going to slide through your comments here really quick. And then we will be wrapping up, guys, because like I said, have a lot of shit I gotta do, bro. As we all, right? Doesn't adulting suck sometimes? So, y'all, like, why can't we just sit here and talk about wrestling? But we have a stacked lineup over on Twitter, X. A lot of you guys watching on The Real RVD, so I appreciate you all. And, of course, all the diehards here watching on YouTube. I appreciate and love all you guys. If you are not already, please like and subscribe to the channel and to the stream. We would definitely appreciate that. The cliche, it helps the algorithm. I hate saying that, but it really does, guys. And the point, like I said earlier, is to get to build the community here. Nothing, because honestly, guys, like the group of talent that we have here at Brass Ring Media. We do this because we love it, guys. Like we have a great group of wrestling minds here, and our whole purpose is just to build the community, to share opinions and to share ideas. So yeah, that's the whole point of it. So that's why I appreciate you guys. What up, Donnell? What up? What up? Oh yeah, that. Oh, yeah. Oh, Dominic D'Angelo, what up? What up? He popped in. Good morning, Dominic. He said too many titles, they feel meaningless. Yes, bro. It's so like almost makes me like twitch. Just think of all the titles. That's literally like I almost had like a twitch when I saw MJF coming out in that segment. He had the F and CMLL title. It doesn't matter what title he would have had. It was just like the visual. It's like, oh my god, everyone has a title. Like it's like that Oprah thing. You get a title, and you get a title, and your mom gets a title, and oh, your brother needs one. Here you go. It's like, f off, man. Like, ugh, trying to watch my language. Oh my gosh. And Ben, you said I'm an AEW fan. You have valid points. Thank you, dude, because I'm an AEW fan as well. Like, you can't see it, but like up there, like I've been like I went to the very first AEW Dynamite show when I was in DC. I've been to multiple shows. I went to the Revolution show when I was here in Orlando, 2022. I have flown to Chicago when CM Punk debuted on that rumor, right? Like I love AEW. I would not be sitting here on a Saturday morning for the past 37 minutes or so talking about AEW if I did not love them and if I didn't care about them. And that's why I said earlier, like it's a shame where a lot of like we're in a time where like if you voice anything like constructive criticism or anything that's not like, oh, great job, like you're viewed as negative Nancy or like you're spewing negativity or anything like that. And I get a lot of people do that for clicks and views and all that stuff because it's like popular or like that's what like gets the views and the attention. That's just not me, man. Like I say shit because it's truly how I feel, like, and that's why I try to be careful with how I say it because I am not a wrestler. I do not go out there weekly. I have never, I mean, I've been in the ring once, but you can't, that's nothing. I do not understand the grind and the work that it takes to be in positions that they're in. So I'm not sitting here like, oh, like you should do this, and this because it's so easy. Like how, like our, Monday morning quarterback. I say it because like I love wrestling and I just view it as like, man, like when you love something, you try to give feedback because you want it to be the best it can be. I truly want AEW to be the best company it can be, like best number two. Like as bad as that sounds, like no one is ever going to top WWE. It just is what it is, wrestling wise. So damn it, like if you can't beat them, like be the best you can be. Like Eric Bischoff said it, I forget where, but when he was starting, like well, not starting WCW, when he was taking over and he was really like getting Nitro going and that thought, he sat down and he was like, look, like this is what WWE does. This is what I need to do differently. Because he knew like you can't be WWE and he didn't think at the point at that time that you can beat WWE. So if you can't beat them, sometimes the saying like if you can't beat them, join them. Sometimes that's like no, like if you can't beat them, be different and be the best you can be. Like be that, what do they call it? Be that competitor. What do they call it? That I forget that brand, but like that competitor brand, like that different brand. So again, I appreciate you recognize that, Ben. Because I try to be as positive with my thoughts as I can be, even though they're not always good. And Grandmaster, you said the combination of a good build-up story and then a great match equals must-see and instant classic. Having both has become a rarity now. It has, dude. It surely has. Yeah, no, Grandmaster, I know that's why there are multi-man matches, but I mean it's a fucking lights out steel cage match. Like, what is he gonna do? Just stand in the corner and not do anything physical? Like, no. Like I know he's not obviously carrying like the bulk of the match, but like if you're injured, period, like, I don't think you should, like, with, like, if like, your fucking pinky is broken, then yeah, that's one thing, but, like, dude has neck issues, so that's why I'm just like, yo, like, is this the best idea? So that's where I'm coming from with that. But yeah, 100% get it, like, that's, like, you have pulled hamstrings, some shit like that, you do a multi-man match, so you only have to do limited shit. I get it, 100%. But I'm just like, dude, like, it's a neck injury. It's not like, he pulled some shit. Too fast. Yes, looks like you guys agree with me with the whole Edge and Christian thing. Yeah, and Ben, you said you feel like they're wanting to do FTR versus Edge and Christian pretty quick here. Yeah, and I get that's the goal probably for Toronto, but it's like you still could have done the build differently. Yeah, all wrestling news are legit. What up, K Smith? What up? What up? Osprey is crazy, dude. That's why I'm scared for him. I'm like, bro, please be careful. Which again, they're professionals. They know what to do, and he knows what he's doing. It's just, makes you concerned. But guys, we will be wrapping it up there. Again, thank you so much for joining me every Saturday morning. I should be here next weekend. Everything should be good to go. But again, technically Labor Day weekend, I will not be streaming, so everything will be good next week. And again, I'll tell you guys next weekend. But 2 weeks from now, I will not be streaming here on Brashing Media, but I'll be back the following week in a new setting. So that should be fun and interesting to see the setup. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for, like I said, spending your Saturday mornings with me. I truly appreciate it. Again, if you haven't done so already, if you would be so inclined, if you could like and subscribe to the channel here on YouTube, we would greatly appreciate that. If you're watching on replay, definitely drop some comments because still want to know what you have to say, even though you aren't able to check in live, which I totally get. Shit, sometimes Saturday morning I'd love to sleep in too, right? But I love being here with you guys even more, so you get me going. But thank you guys so much. Be safe, crazy motherfuckers out there. But be safe wherever you are. Stay cool and hydrated in this godforsaken heat. It's so disrespectful. But until next week for Brass Ring Media, guys, on Saturday mornings, stay safe and enjoy some wrestling, guys. Take care.